We have a feature bout coming your way, and it all started yesterday at the weigh-ins. We're going to take a look here, a closer look at that man, the animal, Vaughn Alexander, and the undefeated Ruben Cazales. Both look like they are in fighting form. High stakes one here. This is one of those fights that we really had circled on the format, guys. This one to watch. And it's coming up. Ruben Cazales puts that 12-0 record on the line against battle-tested veteran, the animal, Vaughn Alexander, coming your way from DMG Boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our contenders for our super middleweight bout, starting with our fighter from the blue corner, Vaughn Alexander.
Vaughn Alexander is a big, tough veteran, 39 years old, out of St. Louis, Missouri. You know, what a story he's got. He started when he was about 8 years old. He was signed to Don King Productions, guys, at 18. Had some personal issues that took him out of the game for a while. But he found his faith, he refound his focus, and we saw him against S3, Sean Arnold, and he posed a very frustrating challenge for S3.
Oh, this is what he is, one of the toughest men in boxing. His record 19-15-2, but so 36 fights, 39 years old. He is a tough man to hurt. He is an even tougher man to stop, and we'll see a real test of that power tonight from Cazales against Animal and Alexander.
Yeah, Vaughn Alexander, I mean, he's very tough with his Philly shell style that he has. Look out for a big overhand right with him, because he will take a lot of punches.
And please welcome his opponent, out of the red corner, Ruben Cazales Jr.
When it comes to Ruben Cazales Jr., DMG has been very, very good. 2 DMG victories. He was a semifinalist in the USA Nationals in Louisiana, 12-0 with 11, with all but one of his victories coming by way of knockout. That's good for about a 92% ratio there, guys.
Yep, and we'll get to see him in tonight against a man who, for the most part, historically, Alexander could take your best shot and keep walking forward, and that will be a big test to see how Cazales deals with that.
Yeah, I like this kid's style. You know, like I said, he's got a lot of knockouts, but he's very methodical in the way that he sets up his knockouts. You know, looking for the 1-1-2, go to the body, and then land the big overhand right to the head.
Let's take a look at how these two match up. You see the age discrepancy there between the two as we take a look at the tail of the tape.
Yeah, obviously the age discrepancy, of course, and that's what Vaughn Alexander is still around. He's extremely active. He does great to get these opponents ready for as they rise up the ranks.
And here to set the stage for this super middleweight battle, our own Rain Cruz.
Ladies and gentlemen, this featured bout is set for 8 rounds in the super middleweight division, and it's presented by DMG, Fightbook, Happy Jewelers, Casa Mexico, Adams Boxing, and Autentico Corajillo. Your referee in charge of this action, Rudy Barragan. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks this evening, he officially weighed in at 169.4 pounds. The seasoned veteran has a professional record, 19 wins, 15 losses, 2 draws. 12 of his victories are by way of knockout. Presenting the fighting pride of St. Louis, Missouri, Vaughn, the Animal Alexander. And his opponent, out of the red corner, dressed in white, silver, and orange, he officially weighed in at 168.6 pounds. He has a perfect record. 12 wins, no losses, 11 of his victories are by way of knockout. Presenting the undefeated fighter from Anaheim,
favor. Keep them clean, obey my commands at all times, protect yourselves at all times. Right here, the belt is going to be good at the crown. You got it. Belt's right there, right at the cup. You got it.
Stage is set for this battle. You know, interestingly enough, guys, Ruben Cazales comes in with that 12-0 record. That's exactly how the Animal started his pro career. He was a perfect 12-0 to start. He had a 12-year layoff at one point in his career for reasons we won't necessarily get into. But he is a battle-tested veteran, and we saw that he made things very frustrating at times for S3 Sean Arnold. We'll see if he can do that against Cazales. You know, the Animal isn't intimidated by that 12-0 record. He's been there, he's done that, he's seen it. He sees this as a big opportunity, this battle with Cazales.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Vaughn Alexander, no matter what, he believes he's going to win the fight, even if he's suffered 15 losses in it, but he still believes he could win every fight. And you'll see if he could walk down and put the pressure on Cazales, who is a very fluid boxer, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, you know, because Alexander, he's got that, he's not Philly shell right now, but he does it a lot in his fights. And it makes it a little bit confusing for his opponents, kind of, you know, throws him off a little bit, and he likes to land a big overhand right out of that position.
Yeah, it's an interesting Philly shell. He's almost okay. He just kind of blocks the body with it, or his shoulder rush. He kind of keeps his hands low, and he's okay taking shots off the top of the head because he's such a tough dude. Only been stopped twice in his career, and he's faced some great competition, including right now the current WBO 160 unified champ, Janibek, Kazakh style, and that was a split decision in that fight. Alexander actually won one of those cards, 77-75. Yep. So he's a tough dude, been with a lot of guys right now. You see he's taking his time early, and Cazales is being smart.
He sure is, and you know, you mentioned out of those 15 losses and against, you know, mostly quality opposition, only finished twice. And that's why we've got an interesting story at play here, as Cazales has finished all but one of his opponent's 11-12 victories by finish. So we'll see how this plays out, Chris.
This is what I was talking about, Cazales, right? You see how methodical he is right here. He's not taking any huge chances. He's not getting overcommitted on anything. He's just pap, pap, pap. You know, throwing little shots here, finding his range. There he goes right there. He's landing some good stuff. Alexander says, nah, you're not hurting me on that, which we know it's probably not hurting him right now. He can take a lot of shots to that head.
Could take a lot. Now, the body is the only kind of vulnerable spot that you could hurt Alexander with. And look, we'll see right now, Cazales, you see him, he's wearing that no boxing, no life brand. That's Canelo Alvarez, and I see a lot of Canelo actually in the style of Cazales. He's very fluid, picks his shots, will change speeds. He's not going to throw everything hard. He looks for an opening, and I would like to see him kind of tap those gloves, use that left hook, and then dig down to the body and find those openings like he did right there with that good left hook.
That's good advice, Justin. Very good for him.
Good combination there by Cazales. Now, what we saw in that Sean Arnold fight by Vaughn Alexander, he would push forward, but then he just wouldn't throw a lot. You know, he's been a little more active with his hands in this one thus far. Doubled up on the jab a couple minutes ago, and we'll see. A bit of a feeling out process, but Cazales starting to get a little bit looser here.
Yeah, Alexander, he knows how to survive. He's very tough to stop, as we mentioned, only twice, one of them against another title challenger and former British title holder, Zach Parker, and he caught him kind of behind the head, and Alexander stayed on his feet for that stoppage. So he's been in with a lot of tough dudes and being able to stand the test. It's one thing he could do well is survive and take shots.
He survives and then explodes is what he's done. He's a very explosive fighter. If you see that, you haven't seen him really throw anything of consequence yet, because he likes to see what the other guy's going to give him, and then he counters with, like, boom, a big right hand, and that's what he's looking to do.
And he will do that, and he will lure you into a false sense of security, because, again, he does have 12 of 19 wins by way of knockout as we take a look in to the corner of the Animal.
Yeah, James Alexander he's been in this situation, I think, 36 times already, 19, 15, and 2 as Alexander, and there you see a good Ruben Cazales. He took his time that round, didn't really throw anything too hard, was really being composed and picking his shots. Best shot probably for him that round was that left hook.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. And again, not a lot of action, but when there is action in this fight, it's going to go fast. All of a sudden, there's going to be a flurry, and somebody's going to be on the canvas. That's what my thoughts are, especially with the way Cazales Jr. fights.
Yeah. A bit of a feeling out process in round one. Cazales threw some nice combinations, though. Was the busier of the two to take the first round for all intents and purposes. But we're off and running here with round two. This one's scheduled for 8.
Now, you mentioned, Chris, that Alexander will explode with his combos, but he will not throw while you are throwing at him. He's my turn, your turn in that sense. He will wait. So that will be up to Cazales to kind of change the speeds like we talked about. And one thing that Cazales also does well is he'll use that peel. He'll try and peel that glove down from Alexander and sneak in a left hook or right hand.
Yep, that little parry off of there. But you can see he's coming out with a little bit more fire this round, a little quicker, a little pressing forward, a little bit more. Still methodical, as I said, but this is how you get knockouts. You don't come out all crazy. Look at, there he goes. As he came forward, put together a nice little combo. Didn't land anything big, but that's the combos that you're looking for.
And that was a smart move. He timed Alexander on the way in. And look, Alexander's a smart guy himself. He knows that. So now Alexander's kind of work backwards and try and counter Cazales.
Yep.
Cazales trying to put the pressure on here. And, you know, back to what you said, Justin, that was the problem with that S3 fight, is that nobody was taking turns.
Yeah, there's a lot that S3 could learn from that. He's a tall, athletic dude. And, you know, look, Cazales is doing a nice job right here, working to the body. And that will be the key for him to this fight, is to really make an effort to get to that body. And that head will always be open because Alexander prevents. Nice doesn't worry about
slicing right cross in there by Cazales, Chris, seconds ago.
Yeah, really good. There, there's a big, nice counter hook over the top from Alexander. The one thing, the only knock I would say on Cazales is he needs a little bit more head movement. He's a little, there he goes. As soon as I said it, there his head starts to move. He's a little linear, little online, and he's going to be susceptible to that left hook or a big right hand down the center.
Those telepathy classes are coming in handy for you.
I've been working
Chris.
on that, you guys. I've been working on it.
Sending the brain waves there to Cazales.
Cazales coaching him from afar.
Good uppercuts right there out of Cazales.
Yeah, and that's good inside work.
Yeah, that's what he changes those speed. He'll hook you to the outside and make you kind of set your guard down there. Then he'll sneak it up with the uppercut straight down the middle.
So Alexander can't just sit here and take these punches and peekaboo, waiting for something to happen. He's got to throw. As you said, he doesn't throw while he's eating them, but he's got to immediately, as soon as he throws, see, he should be countering with the right hand. As soon as he misses on that uppercut, counter with the right hand.
Yeah, but it's just, that was the problem with his left fight. He is getting up there in the age, and he can still do it, but he's losing a little bit of the hand speed as he continues to grow. But those body shots right there from Cazales are, and also the combinations that Cazales is throwing makes it harder to time. As you know, it's easier to time one shot at a time and counter that.
Yeah.
Cazales starts to pick him apart late in the round here. An uppercut has been a good weapon for Cazales as well. But again, nice. That's
right at the end of the round.
I'm still here.
First big hand. Just so you know.
Yeah, that was a nice shot.
You're fighting a seasoned veteran here.
Yeah, he shot that jab and said, "I'm still a man."
Yep.
Alexander had a couple good counter right hands in there, but it's just the punch numbers much in the way favoring Ruben Cazales there.
Yeah, and Cazales, like we said, he's doing a great job of kind of keeping those shots tight. He's using those uppercuts, and he's keeping that right hand real tight and kind of leading Alexander's head into it. He's leading these shots very well. He's a very smart boxer.
He's throwing combos the way that we draw them up when we're training. Right? Like when you're hitting this and you're moving, boom, 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 slip, slip, roll, bing, bing, bing. He's throwing them, putting together combos really nicely. He's not, you know, and again, because Alexander's showing up a little bit, he's not landing as many right now, but also Alexander needs to throw. So I want to see if he comes out with this round, his corner's like, okay, the rope-a-dope's over. You got to start landing some big bombs.
Yeah.
But also true to what he said in that pre-fight interview, Cazales not overcommitting, not taking any unnecessary risk as well, you know. Leading the dance, winning the fight, staying composed.
Look, he's a smart boxer, Cazales. He's watched tape of Alexander. He knows what's in front of him. He knows that he's not going to be able to blitz this dude within 3 rounds. He's going to have to break down that guard, find those openings in it, you know, kind of try and change the speeds like we talked about, and he's doing it really well, and he's not overcommitting on anything. He's keeping his, he knows when to throw that hard shot.
Yep, see, earlier he threw the 1-1-2 that he landed really nicely, and that's what he's got to throw some more. That 1-1-2 is what sets up a hook to the body, then an overhand right to the head. So jab, jab, you're now waiting on the cross. 1-1-2.
Now Alexander will lull you to sleep because there's no counters coming through your first like 3 or 4 combos. Then he'll just sneak on one with a quick little right hand. And so Cazales is still aware of that. but he's being smart. He's not doing anything that could put him in any danger, and he's landing these good right hands. It's just that Alexander is so tough.
Cazales trying to push the pace a little bit here. Nice digging right hand to the body, echoing off the walls of the Fox Theater.
Now, you spoke about Alexander's last fight versus rising star from DMG, Sam Arnold, and Alexander was able to push Sam Arnold against the ropes. You see Cazales is not allowing him to do that. He's the one that's making Alexander take that step back, and that's what you like to see from a young boxer like this, and that's why he's got that great record.
Yeah, it's a good point. Against S3, it was Vaughn Alexander that was pushing forward. He just couldn't find a way to do much with it. But yeah, the heavy pressure being thrown here by Cazales starts to up the output now as the confidence starts to grow.
Yeah, Cazales is very balanced. He's able to take that step back, and sometimes he'll just take the step back and get out of the way, but then sometimes he'll kind of stand his ground after a step and shoot that uppercut, catching Alexander coming in. And Alexander's aware of it.
He found his range really early on with this fight. See, he can stand there right in the pocket, nothing coming back at him right now, and he's able to just put combos together. That one looks like it might have stung him a little bit, but again, Alexander can eat those shots all day long, so he's got to keep putting those combos together, moving in, moving out. Now his head movement's there. That's what we were waiting for before. Moving his head nicely. He's in and out right now.
He's looking for a counter himself right now. He's trying to bait Alexander to throw in something, but it's not coming.
He's like, come on, I want to see what you got to throw because I want to counter something with you.
And that's the fluid combos. Finished it with that good left hook that Alexander. It was a changeup that Alexander wasn't ready for.
Final seconds of the round now, and now Vaughn Alexander throws a couple punches late here. He waited a little too long to do it.
Did that win the round for him?
But again, heavy pressure throughout by Cazales. You might not drop or be able to finish Vaughn Alexander, but if Cazales can keep the heavy pressure, you know, you might see the official take a closer look as this fight wears on into deep water.
Yeah, and like we spoke about, Alexander, he is a good boxer. It's just that he's gotten to this point in his career now where he is 39. He knows when to throw. When the ref's taking that look, he'll throw that punch to prevent the ref from stopping it.
We take a look back now at some of the action from the round. Get loose with the hands there was Cazales.
Yeah, and you'll see what Cazales does. Not every punch has to be hard. Not every punch has to land. He's using these shots to set up the big one. He tried right hand there, tapping with the left hook. He doesn't throw everything trying to hurt you. He tries to find the opening.
Yeah, you said, like, he gives his little tap, but then he'll put together a power combo, too. There he goes. See, right there on the replay. Lands a big hook there over the top.
He's a smart boxer, understands Alexander's my turn, your turn there. He comes out with a big right hand, so he knows that I got to just occupy your gloves with these soft shots, and then I could really try and find that opening when you can't see and got that high guard in his eyes.
Round 4 of 8 here. So we approach the halfway point in this battle of the super middleweights. Cutting off the ring is Cazales.
Yeah. Now, Alexander actually came out and came aggressive for the, he went through the first 10 seconds this time and came out with that big overhand right and then a good jab, but this...
Yeah, we just need to see more of that. We need to see more volume from Alexander. You know, like I said, if he's playing a little bit of a rope-a-dope, now's the time to step it up. Now we're starting to get into, you know, in the later rounds. And
he got close with the right hand right there.
You see, though, that, you know, a lot of those shots upstairs just slide right off the head.
There he goes.
There you go. There you go.
It's Alexander. As if someone told him, hey, wake up time.
That's what lulls you to sleep is he goes you 3 rounds of nothing coming back at you. Then the 4th round, he'll just sneak in a little overhand right and then that sneaky little left hook right hand up top. And now it gives you something to think about.
Yeah, I'm curious about the power of Alexander to see, you know, if he's got the power to knock him out. That left hook he's landed a couple of times. Just needs to throw it more consistently.
Cazales went downstairs to the body of the veteran there.
And Cazales starting to move. See, now he's on the move. Now he's finding his range, landing the jab, well on the move, well angling off up against the ropes here.
Now, this is what Vaughn Alexander is great for, is forcing these power punchers the opportunity. Can you work off your back foot? Because at some point in your career, somebody will push you back. And as Ruben Cazales has, he's got 11 knockouts in his 12 fights. This is probably the first time someone's pressing him back.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we saw in the fight with Sean Arnold. It was just Vaughn Alexander constantly moving forward. You know, and Cazales has been able to nullify that for the most part. But this is definitely the most active Vaughn Alexander we've seen in the fight thus far.
Yep, because he realizes that he might be safer. He's on the end of all these punches from Cazales. He's not, he sees his hand speed. He knows he's a smart guy, so he's going to try and press him against that. And sometimes when you smother it, you can't get that leverage on those shots. And he's going to have to really kind of dig his body in there and use those uppercuts that he showed at the beginning of the fight, Cazales.
Nice combination by Cazales.
That one actually hurt him a little behind the ear. You see him? He dropped back a little bit. Kind of stunned him a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what Alexander's made of, though.
Tough to break, that's for sure. Only 2 have done it. Only 2 have been able to finish the
Watch that. You see that little moment right there from Cazales? He stepped back. He looked up, down to see if he can find an opening.
Yep.
See if he's going for the end at the end of the round here. See if he can land something big. Nope.
And he's tricky, Alexander. You just never know when he is going to throw, and he lulls you to sleep, like we said. And he's aware of that now as Cazales, because he did take a few shots that round. Not enough to win the round for Alexander, but definitely landed some good shots when he did throw them.
Yeah, he's a little on the short end of the stick right now. It feels like his range, his reach is hurting him against a guy who's very long. Very rangy, likes to stay at range, likes to move. So to me, he's got to get inside, get him pressed up on those ropes, start landing some uppercut hook, little 4-3 action.
We take a look back at it now, and beautiful combination there by Cazales.
That's that sneaky change of speeds, and he comes around, shoots that uppercut, then comes over the top with the right hand. And when he's throwing, that's when he's at his best, obviously, but he's trying to find that opening. It's tough to break Alexander. He's really strong in his guard, too, because he is a strong guy. It's hard to peel him and open it because he is such a strong man.
Very defensive style that he has, and it's hard to land big shots on him.
Frustrating guy to fight, no doubt, but Alexander's going to have to come out of the blocks more offensively if he has any chance of winning this fight. Even though it was his most active round there in round 4, he just doesn't have an answer for the output of Cazales.
Yeah.
No, and again, that right hand hurts him again. He backs up a little bit. And again, it's tough to hurt this guy, especially in his very defensive position and a very hard head.
Does have a hard head. Now, look, speaking of that, his opponents, he's got some names on his resume that he's fought with, and we mentioned the Kazakh-style Janibek, current unified champion at 160.
Yep.
Split decision loss for Alexander. Now, he also has been in there with Christian Mbili, who was on that Canelo card, another hard-hitting guy. All those have been distance. Another one, Sergey Derevyanchenko. He's a very tough man, been in with a lot of hard-hitting dudes, and been in the distance for 90% of them.
Had a fight at Fenway Park at one point against Thomas O'Toole.
Oh,
did Vaughn Alexander.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh, nicest little work in there.
That's that rhythm, pitter-patter, trying to find that opening, and there's Alexander coming back. And
that was the right hand. See, if he follows that up with a left hook, that might be trouble for Cazales.
Yeah. But that's why we mentioned Alexander's so active. He's fought, this is his 5th fight this year. It's because he's perfect to show you that there are flaws in your game. Not even flaws, but that somebody can take your best shot and still hit you again.
That's a great point too. And if you're building a boxer's career, you want him to fight guys like this that are journeymen, that have fought everybody, you know, and are dangerous.
Yes.
And to still work your way through it, and probably not going to knock them out.
Yeah.
So you know that you're going all 8 rounds. It's a very good test.
Yes,
that
because
his camp has got him doing tonight.
Yeah, and you don't want Cazales just to fall in love with that power, give away some early rounds, and then realize I can't knock this guy out. You want to let him know that at some point somebody's going to take your best shot, and you're going to have a well-rounded game. Somebody will push you back, like we mentioned, and Vaughn Alexander is the perfect guy to test your limits on that.
Well, Cazales had only been the distance one other time. Nice left hand there by Vaughn Alexander. But yeah, a guy like Alexander will just test the patience, as you mentioned, of Cazales as well. As 11 of his 12 victories have come by way of finish. Best combination of the fight for Alexander, and complains of a low blow.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I want to see more of that, of what he just threw, a multi-punch combo like that.
And finish to the body. Now, I hope that Alexander complaining doesn't make Cazales hesitate. As he's not, he just went right back down there.
Nope, he's going right back down.
No,
yeah, I don't think it will diminish the output of Cazales at all. The official didn't warn him.
Yep. But that's Alexander's mind game. Says he knows how to survive. He's saying that's low. Don't hit me down there.
Well, that's also why it went low, because he changed the calculus on Cazales right there. He said moved in a way that he hasn't moved the entire fight. So he wasn't where he thought he was going to be. And hit him in the spot you don't want to hit him.
And that body is the only way that you could break this man.
Yep.
Cazales ends the fight, or the round surging forward. Couple more glimpses of past brilliance there for the animal. Caught him with a couple good combinations there, but not enough to win the round for Alexander. Coming up next, we're going to have a big battle, another one of our highlighted fights between Pedro Valencia and David Romero.
Yep.
As Romero is getting ready in the back. And there you see the undefeated 11-0 Pedro Valencia. Battle of the Undefeateds coming up, and another one of our big featured bouts here at Night of Champions 4. Cannot wait for that.
Yeah, I expect Fox Theater to be rocking in that all LA battle.
But we got an intriguing one here, Chris, between the veteran.
Listen, I just saw Cazales' corner being like, hey, I want you inside, landing multiple punches, throw those combos. Let's see if he does it.
Yes. Now, also, it's good to work on for him as well.
Yeah.
And there's Alexander is doing a little bit of complaining, right, as Cazales trying to work his way on the inside. He's a smart, he knows how to survive, as we mentioned. That was a headbutt. He just took a look at it.
Well, these two clashed heads coming in, and but the action will resume. So
Alexander does come in with his head a little low sometimes, even though he's complaining about the headbutt. Sometimes it's you see how he's coming in with his head like that forward. You have to be careful with that, and you got to move offline as you're going to do that. Otherwise, you're going to bump heads like that.
Yeah, and you could try and like turn him, but look, Cazales hasn't quite turned Alexander at all. Maybe that's something, a little wrinkle in his game that he could work on. He's kind of just following him around the ring, and he hasn't. There's a turn right as we speak. There you go. He knows, because he's a boxer. You know, he did that when you were talking about it. He knows what he has to do. He's a smart kid.
Ooh, a nice lead right hand he landed as he moving right there.
Heavy shots by Cazales. He had Alexander off balance there momentarily. Some of the heaviest shots of the fight now. Coming in the 6th round here by Ruben Cazales.
He's finding a little bit of a home for that right hand right behind the ear, which is not a good place.
And look,
there's Alexander.
He
lets you know he's still there.
Yes.
Yep. I'd like to let him know that he's there with 3 to 4 more of those,
and another
following that one punch.
Nice left there by Alexander. He's hanging in there, man, as you mentioned.
Big left hand right there. Alexander's landed. Alexander doesn't throw much, but when he throws, he's landing clean.
Yep.
If there is a zombie apocalypse, I want Vaughn Alexander on my team, man, because he knows how to survive.
I think I could hit him as hard as I can, and he'll just look at me. Now, we'll see. Cazales is trying to kind of keep him off, and this is what Alexander did against Sam Arnold, as he kind of started to press that pace like we mentioned before. And it's a good test of your gas tank as well going against them, because you use a lot of energy when Alexander tries to press you. Yeah,
you have to keep him off you. You can't just, just back up. You have to angle off, or you got to put some punches on him, or, get muscular with him too. You kind of rough each other, but that's really upstairs, downstairs right there, the old British masterpiece.
And if you need to take that break, you could tie him up and try and take that breather, and because you know that when you stop throwing, that's when Alexander's going to go.
Yep.
And there's another little turn that Cazales tried. I like Cazales is trying, he's working on his game, and I like to see it. He showed a lot of different things. He has been caught a few times, so that's another thing he could work on as well, but it is tough when Alexander lulls you to sleep.
Probably the most competitive round here for Vaughn Alexander in terms of at least coming somewhat close to the output of Cazales, but still not enough, most likely, as Cazales turning up the dial of intensity late.
And there's that left hook once Cazales finished his combo.
Counter
you see the footwork on Cazales. Now he's starting to angle in, angle off, up, down. This is much better than some of the earlier fights that I've seen him do, where he stayed a little too linear. Now he's starting to find different ways to roll his shoulders, slip offline, roll underneath, find different angles on him. That's the way that he's going to continue to win this fight.
Yep, and that's what Vaughn Alexander adds to your game.
We take a look back now at the action.
Boom.
Little sneaky uppercut right there.
Rolled. Complaining of the
He's
clash
complaining, but he came in with a big blazing right hand, which I want to see more of that.
There's that little pitter-patter as Cazales looks for it, and that was the turn that he was trying, and that's a new wrinkle to his game that he added that round.
He angled off in the southpaw right there, a la Tyson, so quickly, though, you didn't even notice it.
And that left hook from Alexander is his best weapon. When you finish your combo, he throws it. There it is right there.
Yep.
And at the end of the round, Cazales kind of slipped it on the way out. So he's aware of it, but
Little combination to the body there when Alexander laying the round as well. Round 7 of 8 coming your way here at DMG Boxing. A unique challenge for undefeated Ruben Cazales to try and solve the riddle of Vaughn Alexander and try and be the 3rd man to finish this battle-tested veteran. See if he can do it.
Ooh, big right hand.
Shot there by Vaughn.
Big right hand from Vaughn. Like, he's been short on that all night. Now he's starting to find a little bit of a home for it, but I just want to see some more follow-up punches. If you're landing one and hurting a guy, he's backing up, keep bunches on him. Just doesn't seem to be his style.
That's what he was doing at the beginning. I think Cazales is getting a little bit frustrated, and from, you know, he's done everything he can. Alexander's still right there and still hitting him at points in this fight and hitting him hard when Alexander does throw.
I think it takes Vaughn Alexander about 5 rounds to warm up, guys. He gets going.
Yeah.
Ooh, a nice jab to the body, angling off. That was very nice. Offline jab, down low.
Yeah, well, we mentioned Alexander started off 12-0, correct? Right? And he knows what he's doing in there, but it's just he's been through a lot of wars in his days and taken a lot of damage. But as we mentioned, for probably the 30th time in this fight, just such a tough dude.
Cazales undefeated. You know who else is undefeated? Father Time. But you got to love the toughness of Vaughn Alexander. He is you get no choice but to respect this guy.
He's what makes boxing, you know, it's minor league baseball. You get the prospects ready. That's what they're there for. Some of the guys don't make it. Alexander is there to get these prospects ready for the big time, for those title challenges.
That's very true. Ooh, he lands another big hook over the top, but doesn't seem to want to follow it up. Another one off that exchange. Now he's going his straight Philly shell now. Back to regular shell here.
Yeah, and Cazales is slightly frustrated. He doesn't know what to do because Alexander is wily. He changes his game. He finds those little openings. He shows you what it's like to fight a true professional. He just doesn't have the volume.
Vaughn now working the jab. He had a nice straight right in there moments ago, too, guys.
Saw that, right?
Yeah, you know, he's been progressively more and more active in this fight. He just is hard pressed to maintain. And now moving forward, surging forward again. Ruben Cazales, you can hear the crowd.
And you heard Vaughn saying, come on. Vaughn just taking shots off the face, said, come on, because he wants to counter him. And Cazales is kind of, there, he took a step back. Cazales, you don't want to fall into the bait that Alexander is setting right now.
Yep. Ooh, nice jab, jumping jab right there. That's how you close the distance on him.
Stinging jab there.
There
by
you go,
Vaughn
underneath. Now he's got to find that uppercut to a hook. Ooh, that's a nice right hand from Cazales.
And the granite-chinned Vaughn Alexander just eats it well. Final seconds of the round now. Alexander going down to the body with the right there. Another round where he had a few things going, you know. Making it a fight, no doubt.
He's a professional, and he knows what he sees. He knows what's going on. He just doesn't have the volume to come away with the victories.
And you alluded to it. I mean, he is a fantastic and very tough gatekeeper as Vaughn Alexander.
Yeah, he does the job perfectly. He shows you, because he's got so many wrinkles in his game, he'll change what he does. It's mostly the same stuff, but he finds those sneaky little counters, and it shows you that there are openings, and once again, not everyone's going to fall down when you hit them.
Yeah, let's see if we can see some of these big shots that Alexander landed. Look at, there's that counter hook over the top.
Yep.
I just don't understand why he doesn't follow up with a right hand, right? When you throw the 3, you come back with the 2. You throw the 2, you come with the 3. Throw the uppercut, you know, set up the uppercut to lift up the chin, and the left hook clears it out. It's like he's afraid of getting pieced up, I think. He just doesn't want to finish the combo.
Yeah. He just doesn't do it. It's just not going to happen. We've been watched 16 rounds of his in a row now. He's great at what he does, but he's not going to be a combination puncher.
Well, it's like if Trevor Hoffman threw his changeup all the time without throwing a fastball in there.
He's throwing this, and I'll land it when it's open.
8th and final round here, guys. We'll see.
It's in southpaw stance. Oop, go back to orthodox.
You know, obviously well ahead on the cards is Ruben Cazales, but one thing I know we're not going to see is him on his bicycle. He's going to continue to press forward, and he is very aggressive.
Yeah, he's felt that Vaughn is still sticking around and still hitting him clean in these late rounds, and I'm sure he knows the tape, but I'm sure he didn't expect that to come at him. I think he probably thought that his change of speeds would be, you know, an effective weapon against Alexander, but once again, this is why Alexander's so active, is that he changes his game, he knows how to adjust.
Man, you really snapped that jab off of that little exchange there. Just want to see him follow it up.
Yeah, connected with the last round, too. At 39 years of age, he still has some speed on that jab. It's stinging when he throws it.
He's just a kid.
Right, yeah. How old were you in your final fight there, brother?
51, my last
goodness.
fight. Yep.
Now, I would like to see Cazales kind of try and force and cut off that ring when he had Alexander over in this corner by us here, and he kind of took that step back.
Yep.
I would like to see him kind of lead him into those shots and force him in the corner. You could do it with your feet, but you could also do it, with just pressure and kind of creating those angles.
That's right.
Trying to frustrate Cazales here as
So throw
Alexander
that right
just shaking
hand
it off there. Big lead left hook by Cazales right in front of us now. Trying to measure Alexander, get something going late in the fight.
And Alexander just brute force his strength out of that corner. Now, this is, Cazales has him in there. Don't let him get out of there. Throw the hooks to where he's going. Throw the right hand when he's going right. Throw the left when he's going left. And he's doing it now.
Heavy pressure by Cazales, but some decent head movement by Vaughn Alexander.
That is a frustrating style of Alexander, though. That guard is very tight. It's very hard to find any open shots on him either. You can put a bunch of combos together, but it's really hard to land something open to really hurt him or put him away. Oh, there we go.
It shows you how
to
pick your shots, conserve that energy, and then when to press and turn on the gas, and how to trap someone strong in the
he's
corner.
got
There
it.
he
Wow.
goes.
He's
There he
got
goes. There in the corner.
Oh my goodness. He's only
We got 30 seconds.
Yeah, he doesn't have much time to work here, but if he jumps him, might we see only the third person to ever finish?
He took a look at the clock. Cazales did. You got to go. He's got to go. Cazales, and he knows it.
Oh yeah, it's go time now. Gotta pull that trigger.
Go to the body, Cazales.
Alexander's in big trouble, and I don't know if he's just trying to tie up his
10
Alexander
seconds.
final seconds.
10 seconds. Here we go.
Go to the body.
It's going to blaze. Trying to hunt it
Go to the
down.
body.
Very elusive right now is Alexander, and he survives. And that's about as fitting as it gets.
There's a smile.
Wow, what a fight,
The
folks. What a
crowd's
fight.
so happy and so
Finish.
excited, but man, oh man, credit Cazales for dropping Alexander and finally finding the chink in that armor.
Yep, he got him in the corner, and that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier. He had him lined up, landed that good, hard, straight right hand, and it actually buzzed Alexander, which is a tough thing to do. It shows the power that Cazales has, why he is 12-0, now 13-0 with 11 knockouts. Well, prematurely 13-0. I think we could guess.
Yeah, I think it's all academic, but you got to love the toughness of that man, the animal Vaughn Alexander. He is just that at 39 years of age. And he had some moments in that fight. He stayed in it till the end, but boy, what an exciting end to the fight. Just putting his foot to the gas pedal there was Ruben Cazales, as we're going to take a look back at it, and we'll see that
You'll see
knockdown late in the final round.
Alexander, Cazales gets that angle, forces Alexander in the corner, then comes over with that straight right hand, caught him right on the chin. Vaughn Alexander barely even hit the ground. That's how tough he is. That was a bombed right hand, square on the chin, and he's still standing. You'll see right there, Cazales takes a look at the clock and realizes he's got to go. Couldn't quite get the finish, though.
Yeah, precious time was ticking away with the referee's count. Just didn't allow much time left on the clock. We're going to take another look as Ruben Cazales was able to finally get through and knock down the animal late in the fight. Let's take a look at just how he did. Big right hand.
That caught him where Alexander was going. He threw that left hook, led him straight into that right hand.
And then Alexander played a hell of a game of keep away after that to avoid being finished, as we will go back into the ring and make it all official here with Rain Cruz.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I announce the winner of this bout, please, a big round of applause for Vaughn Alexander and Ruben Cazales Jr. And now, ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored this bout 80-71 for your winner by unanimous decision, and still undefeated, Ruben Cazales Jr.
Ruben Cazales scores his 13th consecutive victory. Couldn't quite put away the veteran. And Chris Bruno standing by.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am standing here with Ruben Cazales Jr., who just went from 12-0 and is now 13-0. How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good. Another great victory next to home, and I have all my people out here supporting me. It's beautiful out here.
Yeah, you got a lot of support out there. It looked like you learned a few things in the fight. You really started putting your game together. You were at range in the beginning. Then you started to move offline a little bit, set up your shots. Was that the game plan from your corner?
Yeah, it was a perfect fight for me to showcase a lot of my skills, a lot of things I work on in the gym that I'm not able to show a lot because obviously I get the knockout really quick. But you know, like I said, Vaughn was a great opponent for this type of fight that I wanted to display, and I got it done. So.
Yeah, he's got a very frustrating style. He covers up really well, very defensive, and then he'll fire off once in a while. He's very explosive. But it seemed like you had a game plan going into that. You were able to back off, pick your counters. Was what you feeling about it?
That was exactly the game plan. You know, we know he was going to be tough and he was going to be durable, so that was exactly the game plan. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who came out and supported once again. You know, I'm happy to put on a good show for you guys, so thank you guys.
Yeah, you put on a great show for all of us tonight. Both fighters. Give a big round of applause for both fighters and Ruben Cazales Jr.
Big win there by Ruben Cazales. Stays unblemished record-wise. Improves to 13-0, and we're going to look back at how he did it. And, you know, a great test for Cazales, a guy that will really test your patience, test your endurance, try and get under your skin, and a test that Ruben Cazales passed with flying colors in my estimation.
Yeah, I really liked what I saw from him tonight. Now, it's a tough style, obviously, going against Alexander, but he showed a lot of things that he could do in that ring. He was able to counter him at times. He was really able to change speeds on his punches, and then he obviously put him down with that little left hook right hand, and you see right there, he landed a good left hook, and Alexander said nothing. So then to knock him down at the end of that fight, Cazales followed that left hook with a straight right hand.
And here we see it applying the pressure late. Was Cazales throughout the fight, you know, just throwing great combinations and finally getting through that shell, getting through the armor, and there you see it, drops the animal.
Left hook, right hand.
Yeah, we almost got to see him, you know, witness history tonight, only being dropped for the third time. I thought he might add a KO there for a second, fellas.
Just not enough time.
If he would have had a few more ticks on the clock, probably would have had it. And more great action coming your way at DMG Boxing.